It's just about hats, okay?
My favorite part about the royal wedding. Oh, wow. It had nothing to do with the actual royal wedding. Shockingly. It was being with my castmates, minus one. She was busy putting on a fight. But we were all staying in the same hotel, and for security reasons, once you checked in, they all put you on a big bus, and so there were about 100 guests on the bus, and one of which was Jim Corden, who started singing. Right. And we're like, oh, it's bus pool karaoke. It's awesome. But it's being with my castmates, having sort of bared witness to this incredible journey. And we partied, and we were together, and we were in Windsor, and how often does that happen? Yeah. So that was it was an incredible celebration, and we all knew it was just this once in a lifetime situation, and we sucked it up for all that it was worth. Yeah. Yeah.
A question from this side.
How's your Mandarin these days?
Hey.
Well, if it wasn't Peter Dinklage height, I could have worked it a little easier.
Was there a question?
How's your Mandarin these days?
How's my
Mandarin.
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 My Mandarin. That's a very different question than what I heard.
Yeah, this is still technically a daytime panel. Just checked. We're before the watershed.
I mean, I got off a plane not that long ago, I'm just saying. So I'm like, huh, what? I'm so sorry, I'm half here. My Mandarin sucks. Always has. I don't remember a single thing. I mean, I know there's a box somewhere in my garage with dusty tapes of Mandarin and the translation somewhere. I'm sure I don't have anything to play them on anymore.
Yeah. I'm assuming if you knew the English translations, you probably wouldn't speak them aloud, again, remembering it's a daytime panel, because that was just your excuse for, back in the day. It's like, well, that's how we're going to get away with profanity, because nobody who consumes media today would be Chinese. That's not going to come back on us at all, is it?
Yeah, we got into trouble a little bit. Yeah.
It's still probably better than mine, though. Mine's terrible.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I'm going to point at food and smile and hope that I get what I ordered. That's been my travel experience. I got a question from this side of the house.
Hi. Aside from Mal and Inara meeting the operative, I was wondering if there was any consideration to having any of the rest of the crew meet him, and if not, how do you think it would have gone over if the rest of the crew had met the operative at the end of the film?
Is that how that ended? We didn't meet the operative?
You met him, and Mal met him, but none of the rest of the crew did. Nara did, that's right, sorry.
No, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. It's been a while. Let's just watch it again, like right now.
Yeah, apologies to the 7 p.m. panel.
Refresh my
We're going to
memory.
need the room for a bit.
It's on Netflix.
It's so funny because it was a while ago, and so my memories aren't necessarily like the movie, but it's making the movie, and hanging out with Chewie, who you know, played the operative, who's an amazing actor who's gone on to like do amazing things. And you know, we were at some con way back when, and I'm like, "What have you been doing, baby? What's going on?" And he goes, "Oh, I just did a movie called Kinky Boots." I'm thinking, wow, his career's in the shitter. Kinky Boots, that's great. That's so good.
I think he's doing okay.
I think he's doing just
He'll
fine.
be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be
I think
okay.
he's good. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have absolutely no response to your question. Everybody met Chewie. We all loved him. Sorry.
It's a very different version of the movie. If that leads straight into Kinky Boots, then his career went differently than I imagined it after that. Let's take a question from
I
this
think
side.
if Captain Mal had worn a pair of Kinky Boots, things might have gone a little differently for him.
Don't tell her about AO3. Just don't mention that. Question from this side, quickly.
Yes, many of us here wanted to spend so much more time exploring the Firefly universe. For you, what aspect or story about your character did you want to explore that you couldn't? And did Josh give you any insight to any of those questions?
So many sides. So little time. We had so little time. You know, yes. I mean, I think we were hoping that we'd get to some backstory for Zoe and her family, and what egg did she get hatched from that made her who she was. That always fascinated me. You know, and Book, you know, that was another character. I mean, my God, there were so many layers. There were so many stories, and there were 9 of us. We should have been able to get to everybody. But the beautiful thing about that is we do live on in these comic books, and so we've been able to see where these characters have gone. And one of the things that I was so happy to see, and happy to see right away, was that Zoe had a baby. Emma. Yeah, I love that so much. I love that storyline so much. It made me feel like you guys were all paying attention. You were right in the corner, and Wash lives on. Yeah.
That's actually kind of a weird image for me, like you kind of waiting for the next issue to come out to see how it all plays out, like everybody else in this room.
And by the way, no one sends them to me. I gotta go find them. Yeah, see that? Or I learn about it. Yeah, I come to these conventions and I'm signing it. I'm going.
She autographed every page? We got a question on this side of the house.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask you about your work on Suits. I really did enjoy your work where you have Jessica battle sometimes or work with Harvey every so often, and at the end she seemingly has gone into the sunset. Do you feel that this is all that could be done with Jessica, or would you want this to come back and do more with the character?
I'm so glad you asked that question.
It turns out.
Because Jessica has been spun off into her own series. Yeah, I actually start shooting in 3 weeks. Start shooting in 3 weeks. After I left the show, I left the show for personal reasons. And they were so good to me to let me go. And right around the 3-month mark of being let go. And you know, and then I came back and saved Mike. Thank you very much. But I started thinking, what else could we do with Jessica? There's so much to do with Jessica. And I pitched them a scenario. I pitched them my idea for the show and what could happen and what she could be up to. And they loved it, and they bought it, and they ran with it. And yeah. Yeah, so you'll be seeing Jessica in Chicago in early 2019. Please watch. Please watch. Keep me employed.
So you're actually producing this.
I am the executive producer.
And
yeah.
you don't have a title yet?
We don't have a working title yet.
Okay.
No. Right now, it's everything just says Suit Spinoff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
So
not gonna.
send in your ideas. Let me know what you think.
Thank you.
Question from this side of the house.
Hi, you're amazing, and I'm completely nervous, so sorry.
What do you think I'm doing up here?
I don't know how you're still conscious, so. I think a lot of us here are brown coats. And as you know, as a brown coat, we may not have been on the winning side, but it wasn't necessarily the wrong side.
Yes.
And
Ooh, you said a mouthful there.
And that leads into my question in the current socio-political climate. Hey.
Let her finish.
Do you feel that Firefly not only is even more important and relevant to women, people on the LGBTQ spectrum today, but do you think it could have been made today?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either.
You guys are such a smart crowd.
Also people of color.
Yeah, well, we're in there too.
Sorry. Did I mention I'm really nervous because you're a goddess?
Yeah, according to IMDb, you are correct. She is actually.
What was this silly rule earlier about not being able to hug people? Wait, what?
She's gonna walk of fame, meet her later.
I'm coming to see you later. So.
All right on. Okay, girl. Could it have been made today? That's an amazing question. I want to believe that absolutely it could have been made today. And knowing what we know, we'd probably have a very comfy existence on Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we'd be able to say whatever we want. We'd go deep. We'd go so deep. I am so heartened by what I'm seeing out there. It's rough times. It really doesn't matter what side of the aisle you fall on. You cannot deny that we all got to wake up. If you have a heart and a soul, you're responsible. And I am so heartened by what I'm seeing out there. People taking the word citizen for all that it's worth, and really getting to understand your rights and your power. Because all you have to do is blink, and there's someone over there waiting for you to blink to take something away. Complacency is a dangerous, toxic thing. So let's not do that, okay? Let's get awake. Let's stay awake. And just, we're in this together. We need each other. I mentioned I just got off a plane. That was a deep question.
Sorry.
That's I'm at the end of my kind bar with that one. Yeah, I do. But you know what I mean. I mean, not to get too deep about it or anything. But, you know, do what you can. Do what you can. And it doesn't have to be on a global scale. It can start with your next door neighbor. You know, it could start in your school.
Torres 2020.
Yeah, because it's way too overwhelming when you think, I gotta change the world! No, hi. Nice to meet you. Look somebody in the eye. Pay attention to how they're really feeling. And when they tell you how they're feeling, listen. Don't ask and keep walking.
I think on that theme, I think on that theme, that's part of what I remember connecting with watching the show originally is that and it's the same kind of thing actually with Suits. These are essentially relationship shows, and they're framed around a thing, a law firm, a ship, coming off of an island full of women to fight magical beasts in the world. You know, it's all just a basic story. But what happens with that crew is about how that crew relates to what they consider to be a small situation, and as things go on, you see that grows, and that the actions on what they consider to be a small scale have that much larger effect.
Absolutely.
And because you connect with the people on that ship, that everything that happens outside of that feels more personal. And I think that's part of why you've got like 2,000 people sitting in here hanging on all these words and waiting to ask another wonderful question from
and that's the thing.
Inside of the house.
Just 1 second. What's so great about what you just said, and just to sort of put a finer point on it, is all of those people, all of those little microcosms, all of those relationships, whether it's Suits or Firefly or The Catch or anything that you watch that speaks to you. These are all perfectly imperfect people, wildly imperfect humans that we have to figure out how to get along with. And the way you do that is that you find the thing that is genuinely magical about that person, and that's what you lean into, because we all have that. We all have that in common. And if we were all able to do that, then we could all be on a Firefly crew. All right, ask your question.
So was there a prank that you were involved with or played on you, or some shenanigans you were involved with that you would like to talk to us about or tell us about?
I'm just going to let you know this panel ends. This panel ends at 6:30. So, and we already introduced the fact she knows Nathan. So,
Firefly shenanigans in particular?
Indeed, yes.
There are too many to count. You imagine if we were still on the air? There'd be, we'd be scarred and bruised trying to outdo each other. I can't think of any, honestly, it's 16 years. I can't think of anything like large-scale prank that went on. But we were all there to have fun and have a good time. And so we never knew really what was going to happen at any given point. I know Nathan's pretty famous for going into people's trailers and making things disappear. Like Jules' dog.
What?
True story. True story.
as the moderator, I have multiple follow-up questions.
She had the cutest dog named Teddy. It was like a Cocker Spaniel mix. She bought it as a puppy. It had this ridiculous underbite. And we loved Teddy. Teddy was a great set dog. And so she would leave Teddy in her trailer, or she'd put Teddy on her lap and hair and makeup, and we were all getting our stuff done. And we were done with the scene, and she went back to her trailer, and Teddy was missing. We were panicked. What do you mean Teddy's? Did somebody go in there? Somebody leave it out? Did Teddy run away? No, Nathan had gone in to Jules' trailer, taken Teddy into his trailer. And by the time we discovered him and her, he was asleep with Teddy on his chest.